Hi there! In this video, we'll learn about API ingestion into Postman. First, we'll log into Acuity. We'll click on the Reports feature. From the drop-down, we'll choose Reports. From here, we'll choose the report that we'd like to use. I'm going to scroll down to this forecasting report, and I'll click on the Manage API button. First, I need to enable the API. I'll click the green button here and choose OK. Before we copy the URL, let's talk about a couple of different features here. We have the API token. This serves as a secure authorization mechanism allowing external software to access the designated data. Treat the token with the utmost confidentiality. Only share the token with authorized individuals. Anyone with this token gains access to the report's configured data. Another parameter included is the date start. This is the start date of the time range for which you want to retrieve data. Another parameter is the date end. This is the end date of the time range for which you want to retrieve data. The last parameter is resolution. This is the time interval of the data to retrieve in minutes. Valid values include 1, 5, 10, 15, 30, and 60 minutes. Scrolling down, we'll copy the sample URL. From there, open up Postman. Once in Postman, we'll click on the plus button in the workbench to open a new tab. In the new request window, select the Get method from the drop-down menu. Then we'll copy and paste the URL from Acuity. Click the Send button to execute the API request. You may need to change the file type to a JSON file type. Response visualization in Postman is a feature that allows you to visually represent the response data from an API request. This can be helpful for understanding the structure of the data and identifying any errors. Once the request is sent, you will see the API response in the response section below the request details. The response contains two main sections, API status and API result. The API status section provides metadata about the API request and its processing status. The first field is source. This contains information about the request source, including IP address, request time in UTC, report name, URL, local start and end timestamps, and facility codes. Valid token indicates whether the API token used for the request is valid, either true or false. Error message. If there's an error during processing, this field would contain an error message. Otherwise, it's null. Scrolling down, there's the processing time in seconds. This is the time taken in seconds to process the API request. And success indicates whether the API request was successful, true or false. There's also the API result. This array includes facility-specific data, each containing facility information and key performance indicators. The API result section contains the actual data result from the API call. It consists of an array named scope facility, which represents different facilities and their performance data. Each element within scope facility includes several different parameters. First is the facility code. This is the code or identifier for the facility. Next is device ID. This is a unique identifier for the device. There's also device type. This is the type of device, such as facility or energy meter. There's also device name, which is the name or description of the device. Finally, there are the KPIs. This is an array of key performance indicators associated with the device. In this report, we have insulation and its corresponding values, irradiance and its corresponding values, and power generation and its corresponding values. Also included in this array are the timestamp UTC. This is the UTC timestamps for data points. Also, timestamp local is the local timestamp for data points. When you're done, click on the Save button in the API response panel. A file dialog will appear, allowing you to specify where you want to save the JSON file on your computer. Select the location and provide a name for the file, ensuring that it has the .json file extension. Click the Save button in the dialog box to save the API response as a JSON file to the selected location on your computer. Now you have successfully saved the API response in JSON format as a file on your computer. You can use this file for various purposes, such as analysis, sharing, or further processing.